Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, the 7th of June. Very soon we'll be having the 16th of June, which is the Youth Day. We continue with our usual discussions at all times. Football. You know that it's an international week today, and then but we still have issues that we talk about locally, which are very interesting. Now, the show is called TBR SSF Show, which simply means a TBR Solution Sports Forum. It is myself, the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe. I'm joined by the Man City man, Pete Stirrup. Pete Stirrup is an Englishman, born and grew up in England, who knows one of the subjects that we are going to talk about, the Knighthood. He will explain further. So we want to educate you because very soon, guys, we may be calling David Beckham Sir David Beckham. So you need to be ready. Very soon, we may be calling him that. So it will explain because we are all about education. We are all about helping people to understand where things come from. But one thing that we want to discuss, I'm sure you have noticed, Pete is going to greet you now so that we get going. I'm sure you've seen that Kaizer Chiefs apparently they've agreed that they're going ahead with the preparation in Europe again, just like they did last year, which tells us that the relationship between Kaizer Chiefs and Nabi is there, going on. But there are many things that you may ask. Many people from many quarters, they feel that Nabi failed. All right, yes, he has won the Nedbank, but people feel that he has failed. Moreover, that he never qualified for top 8. So some people are saying that this was going to be the chance for Chiefs to walk away. One. Secondly, Nabi himself, if he really was worried about his image, this was a good chance to walk away. To say, you know what, let me try. But on the other hand, maybe Chiefs this time, they said, no, you can buy the players that you want. Let's go, let's give it a try. And he wants to redeem his image. But here is it. Aziz Key is gone already. You won't have him. I know that you wanted Aziz Key. Mayela, we know that they've offered him more money. You won't get him again. So yeah, those are some of the things that we need to look at. Pete, greet the viewers. Let's jump to the subject.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. Okay, yeah, it's an interesting subject. They should one not? I always think when we start talking about coaches and their longevity with a particular club, I always think of the story of Sir Alex Ferguson. There's another one of those sirs that we might be talking a little bit later. If you think of Sir Alex Ferguson, some of the older viewers who or listeners who are listening to this podcast, they will remember that Sir Alex Ferguson, he was on touch and go at one stage with Manchester United, and they stuck with him. Now maybe this is another story here now, So I mean, at the end of the day, will Coach Nabi now sort of like rest his laurels and say, well, we won the Nedbank Cup, so it's not a complete failure this year. So we will see. We will see how that turns out. At the end of the day, sometimes you got to give guys a bit of a chance, for them to settle in. And I think there's huge expectations from the Chiefs supporters. A bit like Manchester United supporters now these days, They want a club that's successful, and it will be interesting to know what the Kaizer Chiefs fans actually think of this situation of him. Do they think he should stay or should he not go? But we always look at him and you think, yeah, who will regret, or is there any regret? Is he going to succeed? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. We maybe give him another season, and let's see what happens. He might turn that team around yet.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, Pete, you have said something very powerful. That analogy of Sir Alex Ferguson. There were times they really wanted him gone. They just wanted to see his back. But they stuck with him. And guess what? So far, he's the most successful coach who ever coached Man United. So
25 years he was in this.
Yeah, there is
25 years.
there is no other coach who has done so well at Man United. There is a coach. This is the coach who unveiled Cristiano Ronaldo and had Cristiano Ronaldo under his wing. And then even today, there is a father and son relationship between the two.
Sure.
You know, Cristiano Ronaldo, for him to come back to Man United, he had to speak to Sir Alex Ferguson. So don't you think that probably this is the time that Nabi said, you know what, I can turn things around? Because, I don't know. You as Chiefs fans, what do you think? Are you hopeful Nabi will do something this year? But I don't know whether, Pete, are you aware he's going to, you know, walk on a very thin line? Because any lose, there'll be noise.
Oh, for sure. I think next season he's got to come out of the blocks firing on all cylinders. I think if he starts having poor results in the beginning there, well, one would wonder whether they'll stick with him for much longer after that one there. But let's see. Let's give the guy a chance. We could also make that comparison if we stick with the Manchester United theme of the Ruben Amorim now. I mean, they finished 15th, Manchester United now.
Yes.
And it looks like they're staying with him. It's the same scenario. In fact, it's an even worse scenario, I think, for Ruben Amorim. But yes, we have some transfer.
I wanted to ask that question. Do you think Ruben has justified his stay at Man United?
Not on performance, but I do see some improvement there in terms of a more consistent team. You know, they have. If you look at the percentage possession stats for the last couple of games, they've been around the 48. So they're competing. They were competing, but I don't know, they just couldn't go over the home line there, and they'd let stupid goals in and things like that, you know. So, but I did see some changes that I hadn't seen in other coaches for a long time. But nobody stuck with Man United's coaches for really a long time after Alex Ferguson. They wanted that immediate gratification and success, and they crave it now, you know, after what's it now? Has he been gone 12 years or something like that?
Yeah.
So it's a long time.
Yeah.
Because I think it's very similar comparisons between the Manchester United situation and the Kaizer Chiefs situation on the local front.
Yeah. Now, if I may be at Chiefs management, was this a chance of them walking away from Nabi? Or was if we walk away now, Nabi would turn around and say, "You never gave me support. I didn't buy players. Those are your players." Now Chiefs, they said, "Okay, let's give him a chance." But I'm worried about the fact that Aziz Ki is gone, and I know he wanted that signing. Mahela, you won't get him now. You see, so you are a coach, and you know you've identified players. I know Aziz Keys, he wanted him, you know, very badly, and now he's gone. He won't have him. So, as Chiefs, does he still has a chance?
Yeah. Well, your guess is as good as mine, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a big club. so long as he gets the backing of the board and they go for the right players in the transfer market, yeah, I think they've got a chance. They've got a
The other
chance.
thing that I would congratulate Kaiser on it is him not buckling up to the pressure.
Yeah, everybody probably would have expected him to say goodbye. And it looks like he's holding on now, unless things change in the background that we don't know about.
No,
And I think, look,
he even said, I want my kids to be there. At some point, people were just hushed. Hey, your kids are messing up the team. They must go. And no. I've built this team. So this is their inheritance. They must continue with it. I cannot let them go. So maybe sometimes that you not buckling up, you need that. You need that. You need that.
Yeah, you got to resist that pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there was some pressure on Pep Guardiola this year, because, but he's rebuilding. You can see he's rebuilding. But we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later.
No, but having said what you said about Man City, I don't see you guys buying players. And Pep,
there is some.
Pep, it's not bringing players that he used to bring when he was at Barcelona.
Well,
so
think
I'm a
about
little
it.
bit worried about that.
They're
It's like
spending,
he's bringing ordinary players.
He bought Mamouche. He bought
Yeah.
Kuzanov. He spent some money, and there's some recent movements now as well. There's another couple that are probably going to go through as well. So, and then there's a couple of question marks about players that are still on the books, like Kyle Walker, for example. He's come back from a loan spell there now, and where's he going to go? I don't think there's place for him, so he's more than likely going to be on the transfer list.
Now we'll see.
But yeah, an interesting subject. It's pure speculation at this stage as to why Chiefs felt the necessary to hold on to him. I'm sure they had discussions. I'm sure there was some talk about preseason, postseason review. Let's put it that way, and maybe what the expectations of Chiefs are in the future, and whether the coach can meet those expectations, and whether he should stay or whether he should go, or whether they even offered him the option. Those boardroom meetings, I think, are very interesting.
Yeah, it's football. It has its own dynamics.
Sure.
But Chiefs is a big team. Everybody wants to see Chiefs winning. Pete, before I go, Hugo Bros, he decided that he's going to use Pirates youngster, your Nkota, the boy who plays at the back, the youngster like him, Mbogazi, and then he went further to say, I'm not going to take any players from Mamelodi Sundowns since they are going to face the Club World Cup. What's your take? Do you think he's a coach who really wants to build a relationship with other coaches? Because I'm sure he said that Mamelodi Sundowns team will be very happy to say, this guy is considerate. I start to respect this guy. Sometimes he makes decisions that I don't like. For instance, I had an issue about Evidence Mahopa, but I saw what he was showing us to say, no, this guy puts pressure, so that is why I like him. What's your take?
Let's look at the Club World Cup scenario. I mean, they're going to need, Sundowns are going to need all the firepower that they're going to need there in order to progress, through that knockout phase, the table stage. So, and they've got to play the best team that they can in that competition to test, where is the level of football compared to the teams that they're going to play there. So I can't remember who's the four teams that they're in the league there with, but there'll be some pressure there. These are top teams that are going into this Club World Cup. So yeah, and for them, for the coach to allow those players to stay with their clubs as opposed to playing for the national team, you know, well, good luck to him. That's I kind of appreciate that. You know, I'm not sure of the international fixtures now, how they will collide with the Club World Cup fixtures. Maybe just international friendlies, or you know, something like that. I'd have to look at that going forward there to see how that decision ties up with the Bafana games. But yeah, there's obviously some games coming up during that period, so otherwise you wouldn't have needed to make that statement. So it'd be interesting to see what those fixtures are. So it would, but yeah, I kind of support him in that decision, so long as it doesn't have a radical impact on, you know, Bafana's ability to go through and do what they have to do. I think it's very forward looking. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, having said what we said, Knighthood. Just explain Knighthood. What's happening? The story behind.
Well, let's give context a little bit here.
Yeah.
Some weeks ago, we started to talk about David Beckham, and in context with Messi and the others, and the subject of his potential knighthood came up. So that's basically the history there, and we've done a bit of a research there, and I'm going to read what I wrote down here. So you get 4 different levels of honors that are bestowed
now, before
upon.
You go there, what is the symbolism of talking to Messi? Why? Does he want them to support his bid?
I would think so, yes. Yeah, I would think so.
In other words, what is the criteria? There are some people who should say, yeah, we support Peter to be the sir and what have you.
I don't think it's criteria, fixed criteria, but I've got some information on
just
that.
educate us around it so that we understand it.
Okay, so you get what they call CB, OBE, MBE, and a knighthood. So if one looks at the last one, the knighthood, and then obviously remember we've got the females that can be bestowed this honor. It says here that this is the highest level of award and will result in people being called such things as, you know, and it mentions a couple of names here, Sir Alistair Cook and Dame Leslie Lawson, who was actually Twiggy, for the older viewers. She was a model in Britain at the time. And this is normally awarded after the New Year's honours list. So according to Government UK, the website, these honours are awarded for having major contribution in any activity, usually at a national level. Notably, they will be seen as inspirational to others in their field and having made a contribution over a lengthy period of time. So it's not usually a one-off sort of thing. It's like you've been doing good work, you know, for your area of expertise, etc., etc. And it gives a couple of examples here, like Sir Alex Ferguson. We've been discussing Sir Alex Ferguson, and we know what he did at Manchester United. Sir Bobby Robson, Sir Bobby Charlton, and Sir Kenny Dalglish. So some big names in terms of the football there.
Kenny Dalglish is also Sir.
He is.
Yeah,
he is.
Okay.
And then here's an interesting one. Pele received a honorary knighthood, but could not be called Sir unless he became a British citizen. So right. Pele made
while they're still there, Pete.
Yeah.
There's any Sir of color in England?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd have to go and have a look there. I'm sure there would be. Yeah, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head there, but I'm sure there will be. I'll report back on that one for the next meeting.
Okay.
But there will be. I'm sure they will be.
Mm.
Sticking with Pele,
Mm-hmm.
he made 659 appearances for the Brazilian club Santos and scored an incredible 643 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Pele also made 92 appearances for the Brazilian national team, scoring 77 goals in the process. And he was the country's all-time leading scorer until, and we've spoken about this young man, Neymar broke the record in 2023. Pele won an astonishing, because I know you like the count for the player. Pele won an astonishing 37 trophies throughout his glittering career, including 3 World Cups, whilst on an individual level, he won the Ballon d'Or 7 times. 7 times. Yeah. And as we've discussed here, David Beckham is currently an OBE, and I'll explain what that is a bit later, and is rumoured to be made Sir in the King's birthday honours. So when the King Charles has his birthday in November, then that's when these awards get given out. Okay, so moving down the rank, a CBE. It stands for Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. My word. Okay, this is higher ranking than OBE and MBE, and only below Knights and Dames. Seen as having prominent impact at national level or distinguish innovative contribution to any area. Once someone is nominated, they will be judged by the Honours Committee. So that maybe, I think, answers the one question that you had. So there's a committee of people that are put together, and they decide who gets what. But nobody knows what real criteria is in this particular, as well as a subgroup for the specific industry. It will then be decided which award they receive. So a couple of people that have been, I'm sticking with the football theme here.
Yeah.
So Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson was former England manager and player, and he got his award for services to football. Now, if the guys remember now, in the 2010 World Cup, Roy Hodgson was the England manager. And another player that the oldies will remember, Dennis Law, former Scottish player who played for Manchester United and Manchester City for services to football and charity. So that's your CBE. I'll send you this. When I'm finished, Saubrey. Then
no problem.
Maybe if the players want to, if viewers want to have a look at that, we can give them more information. OBE stands for Office of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. It tends to be given to people who are in the public sphere, who have made big impacts locally, whether that's in business or media, or part of a major charity. And around 500 people a year receive one of these. Sticking with the football theme, David Moyes, the current Everton manager, he's an OBE, and he received that for services to football. And then we move down the rank to an MBE, which is a member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. This one is supposed to be more for people who have a local hands-on service. For example, previous MBA recipients have been teachers or doctors. About 2,000 people a year receive these. So it's people that have been maybe working in their respective areas and doing some good stuff there. So a couple of people that have received this, sticking with the football theme, and I think most of the viewers who have taken interest in overseas football will remember these names. Harry Kane, who's the captain of the England football team and current.
Yes, Pete, as you said.
Right. So if we go back to the criteria, if one can call that, then for it's awarded for having a major contribution in any activity, usually at a national level. So notice these people get knighthoods and become a dame and a sir will be seen as inspirational to others in their field and having made a contribution over a lengthy period. Right. So if one keeps
sorry,
that.
Pete, I've noted what you said. that Pele was recognized. But you said
Yes.
Pele is not Sir. You explain
Yeah.
Pele
So
falls under which category instead of Sir. Okay. All right.
no,
Now go ahead.
he was nominated. He was honorarily made a Sir, if you like, but he couldn't actually use the title because he wasn't a British citizen, unless he became a British citizen. So
Oh, I
obviously
see.
he
I
wasn't going to
see.
do that. Yeah.
I see.
Okay, so if one brings it back to subject now being David Beckham, let's see
Yeah,
what
our focus is David Beckham.
did he do?
Yeah.
So basically for services to football and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you got to remember is he was highly touted about 3-4 years ago to get this. And then he didn't get it. And it was a big surprise as to why he didn't get it. But news came out a little bit later that he was suspected of being involved in tax avoidance scheme. So he's been cleared of that since. But that sort of like knocked him out of the honours list for that particular year. I think it's about 3-4 years. I can't remember exactly now. So what has he done for services to football? So he played 115 times for England before his retirement in 2013. He's the only Englishman to score at three different World Cups. His career included treble-winning campaign of 1998 and 1999, where Manchester United won the Premier League, FA Cup, and Champions League. He also played a key role in securing the London 2012 Olympics and has been an ambassador for UNICEF since 2005. In 2015, the organization launched the David Beckham UNICEF Fund. His wife, Victoria Beckham, received an OBE for services to the fashion industry in 2017. Beckham hopes of being awarded for his Olympic efforts in the 2014 was scuppered with an issue of his taxes. This is what we were saying there. But yeah, I think we're expecting now that, he's been cleared of those allegations and whatever that were there.
Which paves the way now. Which paves the way.
Yeah, sure. No, sure. I mean, look, innocent to proven guilty, no?
Yeah, sure.
So there was a cloud over him at that stage, and they didn't want to be seen to be awarding this award, a prestigious award, to somebody that may have been guilty of tax avoidance, for example. So, but now he's been cleared now. So, and as you can see, he's involved with UNICEF for the Children's Foundation. He got the Olympics in Winter Olympics in 2012. So he's really, really, really done some good stuff in his career there, and they believe he's going to make it this time. But this will be the birthday nomination, the King's birthday nominations. So it won't be long before we call him Sir David Beckham.
Now, while you're still there, yes, I know it's a national prize, a national accolade, but we see David Beckham now being involved with MLS big time.
Yes, correct.
Miami and so on. Will that have an influence? That his influence has gone beyond English?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That will play a major role.
Well,
okay. Now, having said what I said, Pete, I don't know whether you're frozen. It looks like you're frozen. Having said what I said, I know that at some point, what's his name? Sir Alex Ferguson was angry at him by saying he was not focusing immediately after he became involved with the wife. By that time, she was a girlfriend. And then, so will Sir Alex Ferguson look back and say, that's my boy. I call him to order, but here he is now. He is back. He has mended his ways now. I'm now accepting him now as another sir, just like me. I wonder whether you pick up what I was saying. I could see that you have
No, I missed it.
frozen. Then I continued. I was saying, remember there was this so highly reported nasty interchange with Sir Alex Ferguson, whereby Sir Alex Ferguson felt that he was going out of hand. Moreover, ever since he got involved with the wife, by then she was a girlfriend. She is getting a bad influence and so on. Are we going to see Alex Ferguson now say, I've got another say in the same category as I am? Have I contributed positively to make him the man he is today? Or David Beckham would say, this is my turn now to say, you see, you thought I'm some kind of a disorganized young boy. Look where I am. I don't know. I'm just throwing that. I don't know whether you want to comment around that.
Well, I first say to the viewers, go and have a look at the Netflix series. The David Beckham features there. I think it's a 3-series story about, and he tells this whole history of him and Sir Alex Ferguson and what went down with the famous boot story in the change rooms, and what was happening with him and Victoria at the time. She was in London with the Spice Girls, and he was in Manchester, and he didn't turn up for, or he didn't want. So Alex Ferguson wanted him to stay, local and not get involved with Victoria. But you want more information? That's on that Netflix series. It's very, very interesting. Even being a City fan, I really enjoyed that. But he's a great player. He's a great player. He's a great. Those two are just a powerhouse when it comes to business.
As a human being,
he's got the brand. Yeah, I think he's a good dude. Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah.
Let me tell you something that I know about him from a distance. He loves England.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
yeah, no.
For me, if they don't give him this honor, it would be unfair. He loves England. According to him, if things were very well, Messi would be playing in England.
I'm sure
for Man United, for that matter.
But it just shows you a good partnership in a marriage can carry each one forward. I mean, a lot of people will say that Victoria was the brains of the operation, but he was the brand, of the pair. But the two together, they've made a huge success. They got 3 kids, and even their kids now are teenagers. I think is it Romeo, the oldest? I think he's playing football now. So let's watch this space and see what happens. But yes, you're right.
I'm afraid of children of the footballers. They don't tend to be their fathers. Like their fathers.
No,
it doesn't happen that way.
Difficult boots to follow.
Let me tell you something very nice. Jomo has been very great. And it was sad to see him picking up his boots. And we're all crying for the next Jomo. He has been saying, my younger son. We said, no, that's a waste of time. That's a waste of money. It's very difficult, just like Kaizer Jr. But Kaizer, there was a glimpse of some light and brilliancy. But no, not to the statue of Kaizer Daum. Yeah, he was a footballer. Well, Bobby, I don't think he has played. Well, he says he played football. Yeah. So now those people who are saying Victoria was a bad influence, I'm sure they are now eating a humble pie.
Sure.
And it shows that Victoria loved David. Truly so. Remember, Victoria stopped singing to be by his side. And not only that,
she was always into fashion. Yeah.
David has always committed his love to say, I love my wife. I can't do anything without her. So
there was only that one little bump in their relationship when he was supposedly having an affair with that. I think she was called Rebecca Lewis. And nobody will really know whether he actually had an affair with her or whether he didn't. But
there's another rumor which I don't think is true. I think they're just trying to destabilize Messi, to say he's flirting with Messi's wife. I don't think so.
you see,
Well, I don't think. I think
people
they're
get
trying.
jealous
I
and
think.
they
I think
and they
that
put rumors in the way.
they try to destabilize Messi. You know,
Yeah,
because they know how
mm.
Messi loves his wife and his children. And
Sure.
I don't think Beckham will do that. That would be stupid. That would be really, really stupid.
There was very, very strong rumors at one stage, but whether they're true or not, only he will know.
No, that would be
I think if I remember right, they do touch on that subject in that 3-part series, but it's very low key. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I like the way he conducts himself. He's a professional, Beckham. He
Mm.
knows what he wants. He's clear,
Sure.
He thinks beyond football. He's not a footballer. He's also a businessman, very strategic. You know what? We wish you good luck. I wanted to see whether he fits the narrative, whether he deserves to be said. But having looked at what you said, maybe he needs to be given that glory.
Sure.
Yeah, that
And
honor.
the other thing is, did you know he was part owner or owner of Salford City?
Which one?
Salford City. You remember the FA Cup third round? Manchester City played Salford City.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. If you look back there, you'll see that they played that. There was I think it's Gary Neville. I think there's a couple of Manchester United players that have come together to own what is now known as Salford City, which is pretty much very close to Manchester anyway, and it's actually part of what is known as Greater Manchester there. So yeah, he's got some ownership there.
Are they still owning it?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the story while you're talking about ownership. There's a team called LSM. It's LSM or MSL, which is owned by Messi and Suarez. No, it's SLM. Suarez, Lionel Messi. In what is this thing? In where Suarez comes, Uruguay. Is it Uruguay?
Uruguay.
But my little
No, he's Argentinian. He's Argentinian.
Who?
He's Argent. Messi's Argentinian.
No, Messi's Argentinian, but I'm saying they're owning a team.
Oh, Suarez is Uruguay.
Yeah, they're owning a team in Uruguay.
Right.
Which is called LSM, which is Luis Suarez Messi team. My analysis, Suarez is the one who bought the team. Then he brought Messi in, which was a very good thing. Messi boosted all his friends. Do you know that Aguero has his own podcast? One of his first guests was Lionel Messi. And imagine having Messi on your podcast. You just break the numbers. So, and I see him.
Maybe we should invite him.
We'll try if we can't win that one. How many people wants to see Messi, man? But we are happy that we can see him. I don't even have that dream to say we'll have him. Having him, it would be a bonus, man.
Sure.
But sometimes we need to be fair to these people. They're human beings. Sure. There's too much demand. They have families. So you can imagine going from here to there. It must only make business sense. If it doesn't make business sense, you know what? Yeah. So yeah, but I'm happy. He loves his friends. Not only that, I don't know whether you know that his family are running his businesses. So that's a clever man. Pete, that was a very nice analysis and education. Remember, I always say we educate. And then I'm sure people have learned.
And we want to be educated as well. So let the viewers let us put it right if we see that we're wrong, or give us some guidance on what they would like to see. And as always, comment. Comment, guys.
Yeah. Pete, always nice having a chat with you. I know, like I said, it's very difficult. Somebody waking up in the morning do the show. Got so many things to do. But you know what? When a man has to do what a man has to do, a man does it.
Correct.
Thanks, Pete. Much appreciated.
Yeah, you too, Sobs. Bye,
Thanks.
viewers.
Bye. Hi, everyone. I'm sure you are already in the year 2025, and then you are asking yourself, what are you going to do? Some of you have been working for many years, and then now you are contemplating of either resigning or going on retirement. And it looks scary. You're not sure what are you going to do, how are you going to survive, you're worried about your pension, and so on and so on. Especially if you're a GPF member at the age of 55 and above, and you are in those situations. You are thinking, what's going to happen? Remember, the most important thing, you need to think about how can you save the little that you have, in terms of how do you avoid penalties. Because when you retire earlier than 60, you'll be penalized. How can you avoid that? Not to be penalized, not even a cent. You also want to make sure that you maximize in terms of the taxation. But get me right, tax applies to everyone. But you want to make sure that you are tax as little as you can. And you want to do all those things. You need somebody who's skilled, somebody who's trained to deal with finance, because tax avoidance is allowed. Because when you avoid tax, you use the tax law. Now, if you want to do that, to make sure that you save as much as you can, don't hesitate. Contact us, TBR Solution, or the Big R Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. And then just say, please, I want you to assist me. I want to go out. So come and share knowledge with me. Now, no obligation. You don't have to make any obligation. Just listen to the facts. After listening to the facts, make a decision. Can listen to us, can listen to others, then so that you're exposed to various information, so that when you make a decision, it's an informed decision. Now, my name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from TBR Solution. Here I'm representing the Big R Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. If you want to know how to get hold of us, just look at the WhatsApp number, drop us your contact via WhatsApp. We'll therefore come back to you. I thank you.